Miller here, Craft Beer Nation. Thanks for tuning in. Got another quick beer review for you here tonight. And tonight we're going to review another beer from the Veil Brewing in Richmond, Virginia. A little shout out to my friend Will, delivering me some fine brews up here. He lives in Richmond and is a good friend of mine. So I've got the Bob from Marketing tonight. This is their sour ale. It's a sour India Pale Ale. And this is something that is kind of a couple of weeks old here now. This one's dated 5/3. I don't know if I can drink a beer that's a whole 10 days, 7 days away from being fresh, but just kidding. This is a kettle soured beer. I'm going to talk about it while I get it into a glass here. But kettle souring is where they, in the brew kettle, after mashing, before the boiling, they'll take and they'll pitch lactobacillus right into the brewing kettle, and then let that souring happen in there for a period of time. 18, 24, 36 hours, depending on the level of acidity that the brewer wants to accomplish. Then they'll bring that up to a boil and do the rest of their hop additions and all that other kind of stuff. But then that will kill the lactobacillus to prevent any further souring, but the acidity levels will already be there. I believe I've read that this is a kettle brewed, a kettle sour, so that's the process there. This guy right here is going into a glass. I'm going to try not to make too much of a mess on my desk here, but into a glass. This thing has a very pale yellow color. In traditional Veil stylings, this is pretty turbid. This one does not look as heavily sedimentary as the last beer I had from them, the Dirt Nap. This guy is quite bright, pineapple juice in color. A real blonde ale, a dirty blonde ale here. So I poured it kind of rough because of the messy leaning up for the camera, but I've got about a half a finger of white frothy head here, bigger bubbles, but nice texture. Looks like maybe some wheat in the bill there to kind of bring that head up. One of the characteristics of a kettle soured beer is the acidity in there will kind of hurt your head retention. But I poured this a full minute ago in the head. So this isn't settling down. They've got something in there that's helping with that. In the nose, I get a little bit of lemon. I get some grassy notes from whatever hop they've used here. It is not highly acidic. This isn't going to be a sour ale. This isn't a Goza or one of your traditionally higher acidity beers. But I get a little bit of I get light lemon fruit. I get citrus there as well, and that could just be the acidity. So let's dive in here and take a taste. Cheers. Oh, yeah, lemon right out of the gate for me. Yep, the acidity presents itself to me as lemon. It's a little more. It's sour enough to taste, but it's sour enough to be quenching. It's not sour enough to make you think lemonade. It isn't sour enough to make you pucker. It's it's really dry. It finishes really, really dry, which comes from the acidity. Makes you want to get right back into it. I didn't even look what the ABV on this is. The ABV is just 7%. No evidence of that whatsoever. The bitter dry finish and the high acidity, the lemon sweetness on the front end. I don't get any alcohol taste in this really at all. But yeah, I don't get any off flavors here. It's really clean. There again, you go right from the lemon sweetness to the dry, bitter aftertaste. Boy, dry is what I will definitely call this. I mean, it's very palate cleansing. You can see the head is just dissipated here now. There again, that's from the high acid levels or the low pH, I guess you could say. But this beer is delicious. This beer is refreshing. This beer is a lawnmower beer for me at 7%. So this is the kind of thing I'd want a bunch of these in the fridge when the friends come over who haven't tried a sour beer. This is a good gateway into sour beers. You don't want to deliver them. If they're not familiar with it, you don't want to put them into a Duchess or with a sour program from New Belgium. You don't want to give them one of those. This is a great gateway sour beer, even more so than the Westbrook Goza, because this doesn't have any of the salt characteristics that might put off some new beer drinkers. So this is light, refreshing, crisp. I'm going to go 4.0. I'm going to give this a 4.00 number of caps from us. It is just gorgeous, light, and brilliant. So cheers to Veil for killing it again. Thanks again to Will for giving me this beer. And until next time, cheers.